I'm Brandi Williams. I was diagnosed in 2018 with triple-negative breast cancer. I had 16 rounds of chemo and 25 radiation treatments, then another 6 months of an oral chemo. And I had bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction surgery. I had numerous other surgeries, and I'd like to thank Dr. Sadehi for helping me out, and Dr. John Gordon. I'd like to thank Dr. John Hamid for helping me out when I was first diagnosed and connecting me with all the wonderful people that helped me through my journey. I'd like to thank East Jefferson Oncology team for taking great care of me, from my oncologist to all of the nurses. I'd like to thank my family and all of my wonderful friends that have stood by me through all of this. Most importantly, my sons and my husband, including my youngest son, who is actually the reason that I even found my cancer when I did. My husband brought me to every appointment for chemotherapy and stood by my side through every step of the way. And some really amazing friends who helped me out monetarily, as well as just awesome support throughout the entire journey. And this is my story. I grew up on the Westbank, living between two homes. Because my father was an alcoholic, my younger sister Sherri and I would float between living with my parents and my aunt and uncle. My mom finally left my father when I was 10 and married my stepfather when I was 11. Life before I was 12 was quite interesting, to say the least. It was one hell of a ride to witness how alcohol would affect my father. He was physically abusive towards my mother. My sister and I were left with babysitter after babysitter, while my mother always worked day and night. Our favorite place to retreat was to my aunt and uncle's house. It was the safest place on earth, where my sister and I lived like princesses. Growing up, I always felt responsible to take care of my little sister, who is 3 years younger than me. Being her constant caretaker always left me super insecure and nervous. Watching my father abuse my mother made me timid and absolutely never wanted to get in trouble. My parents moved a lot, so I attended a different school every school year. Making friends was hard, keeping me more shy and isolated. But when I turned 18, I got a little confidence and met a boy. He became my boyfriend, and my mom and stepdad let him move in with us. Knowing my aunt and uncle wouldn't approve, I hid the news from them for a while. Deep down, I was afraid they would be totally disappointed in me. When my aunt finally found out, she was sad and upset about my choices. I realized that day that lying about anything, especially to those you love, just isn't worth the hurt it causes. I also learned to be independent at the age of 18 and moved out on my own, stayed in college, and worked my ass off while partying. I had a lot of fun. For the next several years, I floated through life. I got married and had 2 boys. I was devastated to see my beloved aunt face breast cancer twice. For almost a decade, she battled, eventually losing her war against this disease. Losing her, I was completely heartbroken. I felt a dark sadness for over a year. It was just a short time later when cancer came knocking on my door with the same diagnosis as my aunt. It was my wake-up call. Initially, I felt fear, anger, and sadness. Then fight or flight took over, and I was ready to fight. Started running to the finish line and didn't look back or slow down. I prayed hard and fought hard. Before cancer, I was so focused on working as much as I can, making little time for sleep, health, or my family, mainly my husband and children. After cancer and having life being focused on my survival for a couple years, I realized how many people stood up and pushed me along, making me want to give back as much as possible, and to be able to stop and actually slow down to focus on health, sleep, and mainly my husband and kids. I make it a point to make more time for life in general, to listen more and speak less. I can honestly say that I am a good friend to many. I have strived all my life to help people through some pretty tight spots, even though I didn't have all of my own situations figured out. Somehow, helping others figure their life out has always helped me to figure out my own situation. I see how much I help people around me. I feel I have evolved into a compassionate person that thrives on helping people survive mentally and physically. I often think of my aunt and how she made me feel about myself. I always felt loved, and I see now how loving others can fill my own love tank. Remember when I said she made me feel like a princess? I want to bring love to other people's kingdom too. I love it when people are happy. Today, I treat every single day with the same mindset that any innocent child would. Have fun, be happy, be kind, be with your family, and do what you love. Never put yourself last. Be a leader and lead others to greatness and sanity. Love yourself so that you can love others. Keep moving forward and only look back to pull someone forward.